Matt, good to see you. We're doing a little myth busting today. Your 401k is not a retirement plan. Everyone's favorite retirement account, the 401k, is a great way to save, but it is just a tool, not a strategy. Can you explain some of the biggest risks of relying on just a tax-deferred 401k for retirement?
The biggest risk is you are creating a big gift to Uncle Sam when you're in retirement
Yeah.
because he would rather get that big chunk of money from you when you're in retirement than before. You're creating a tax time bomb. By that, I mean, if you have $1 million in there, that's money you've never paid a dime on tax on. So when you pull that out, you're going to pay what, 20, 30, even 40% to Uncle Sam. You don't have $1 million, you have 600 grand. That's the biggest risk.
Yeah, that must be painful.
Mhm.
As you mentioned, there's a reason that 401ks are known as being tax time bombs beyond being tax deferred, like you just mentioned. They also have required minimum distributions, which can push you into a higher tax bracket in retirement.
That is correct. So it could be as much as 4%, if not more, of your balance every year that you have to take out. So here we are. Let's say you're in the 100, you make 100 grand a year, head of household. You're paying 24%, but in addition to that, we're taking out 4% out of our $1 million, and that could potentially bump us up into the next tax bracket. So we want to do tax planning, and we'll get to that in a little bit here.
Right. Because we do have control over that, which we will get into. I want to ask though, because I think a lot of people are wondering, why in the wide world would I want to be paying my taxes now?
Well, old school says, in the future, your taxes are going to be lower. Old school meaning that's what we heard 20 years ago. The reality is that's not the case because you're losing your deductions, your kids are out of the house, your house is paid off. Not only that, taxes are going up. So you want to pay taxes today. Why would you create a problem for yourself in retirement when you don't have the income that you had, and then you don't have the new money going into your 401k, and now you're paying taxes at a higher tax rate? You want to pay taxes today. If taxes are up 1% between today and tomorrow, it's better to pay it today. Look at that chart. Back in 1945, 94%. And this is just a marginal tax rate, not counting state. So, taxes are going to go up. They're going to have to. It's a math problem. The only way to solve it is to raise taxes.
Right. Or reduce spending, which we know they don't like to do either.
Well, we hope they do that too.
So it all comes back to turning your savings into an income stream. So what should we consider in addition to our 401k?
We want to look at other tax advantaged options. So by that, I mean, we're going to consider Roth conversions. If you make too much money to contribute directly to a Roth, you can do indirect Roth. And we can do conversions when you're older. And I love the non-qualified account. On the non-qualified account, we can do muni bonds. Back in the day when we said muni bonds, and even if you Google what's the average muni bond, it's going to be 2-3%, right? So it's like people wouldn't do it because it wasn't much of a rate of return. Today, that's not the case. Today, there are certain investments that are tax advantage where we can get a good rate of return in a non-qualified account. Long-term capital gains is 15% for most people, which is a whole lot better than that 24 and then state tax on top of that. So again, just making the case, why would I do any tax deferred money? I'll just shoot you straight. I don't do any tax deferred money. All my money is either tax-free on the Roth 401k, or the non-qualified account, and I'll deal with my long-term capital gains. There's some other things too, but we won't get into that here today.
Right. I mean, this could be an 8-hour video, of course.
There's so many things. Yeah.
Right. It grows tax-free, and it grows tax-free indefinitely because those Roth accounts don't have required minimum distributions either.
That is so true. And this is a statement you want to remember, Aaron. Do you want to pay tax on the seed, or do you want to pay tax on the harvest? Uncle Sam, he's fine. He likes getting the Roth money today. And that's why the Roth isn't going away. The Roth is not going away because Uncle Sam is not the best long-term thinker. He needs money today. So He likes it when you do the Roth. That's why it's not going away, because they get their tax money today. But at the same time, for your sake, for the future you, Aaron, let's have some tax-free money down the road. Let's have that big tax-free bucket of money. There's nothing better than that in retirement.
Where were you when I was 20 years old, Matt?
Well, you're only 22, Aaron. So
I just wish I'd started the Roth a lot sooner.
I'm with you 100%.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. So if somebody wants to talk through whether or not they're properly tax diversified or Roth conversions, or trying to figure out how to get more money in that tax-free bucket, how can they reach you?
Give me a call, 425-256-3105. I am usually in meetings, so the people that answer the phone, either Andrea or Andrea, don't get confused, they can set an appointment with us and we can get together. I'd love to get together in person, Zoom, whatever you want. We're here for you.
Perfect. All right, Matt, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a good day.